Better idea. A brownie sundae ice cream cake. It starts with brownies, of course, baked in a 9x13 pan. Just lift it right out. And we're going to make this fit into a standard loaf pan. Line the loaf pan with plastic wrap. And that's going to make the cake easier to get out after it's frozen. Start by measuring the bottom of the pan, and it's 3.5 inches. So I know that my first piece of brownie has to be 3.5 inches wide. So there, I'm just going to mark it. And then you'll want to measure again about halfway up the pan. Oh, right at 4 inches. So the next piece is going to be 4 inches in width. And then our last piece should be just about 4.5 inches to fit into the top. And it is. For the building, start with the narrowest piece of brownie, and that's going to go into the bottom of the loaf pan. You'll see that it fits perfectly right in the bottom. Now for the next layer of flavor, peanut butter. This is crunchy peanut butter, 1/2 cup, evenly distribute on top of the brownie. Use an offset spatula just to spread the peanut butter to the edges. Next, vanilla ice cream, and I need 1.25 cups of this. This is a pint, so I need a little more than half. And I think we're ready for our second brownie layer. This is our 4-inch wide piece. For this layer, raspberries and strawberry ice cream. Just mash the raspberries a little bit with a fork. Okay, and you can just kind of spread that about. And one more layer of ice cream. This one, strawberry, about 1.5 cups for this layer because our pan is a little bit wider now toward the top. Take your time here so that you have an impressive presentation when you unmold and slice it. And now we just need that last layer of brownie. This will actually become the bottom, so it doesn't even matter that it's cracked. And then take your excess plastic wrap and flip it up over the cake. And into the freezer it goes until it's nice and firm, at least 6 hours. I'm going to do some candied peanuts. That's 1/2 cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of water. You want the sugar to dissolve completely into the water. Start over a moderate flame, and then once our sugar is melted, we can crank the heat and really get it to a boil. This needs to come to about 235 degrees on a candy thermometer. We're starting to come to a boil here. Now this sugar mixture will not take any color at 235 degrees, so you'll want to check it while it's still clear. Earlier rather than later is best. 235, all right, we're there, we have arrived. That was fast. Into this goes 1/2 teaspoon of coarse salt and the peanuts. This is 1.5 cups of roasted salted peanuts, right in. It'll take about 1 minute. See how it's looking sandy now? That's what we're looking for. And in just a few more minutes, the sugar will melt again and caramelize and turn golden around the peanuts. And that's when you have a properly sugared peanut. The sugar is melting again on the bottom of the pan and it's starting to just get the faintest bit of amber color. Line a rimmed baking sheet with parchment paper, and that'll ensure that it doesn't stick to anything. And they can go right out onto the tray. And then just spread this very quickly into a single layer while it's nice and hot. Now it's time for the big reveal. This is actually the bottom. There we go. And lift the plastic right off. And just before we slice it and serve it, whipped cream. This is 1/2 cup of cream that I've whipped to soft peaks with 2 tablespoons of confectioner sugar. I think that looks pretty good. And some of the candied peanuts. You can just break these up into little bits, sprinkle them right on top. And then, of course, we have lots more of these peanuts that we can serve on the plate for garnish. And with your knife, go straight down. Oh yeah, see all those beautiful layers there? And for the top, more of the sugared peanuts. And it wouldn't be a real sundae without a cherry on top. And there you have it, a beautiful and so delicious brownie sundae ice cream cake.